What if I told you there's a platform right now where most people are just scrolling and watching? Barely anyone posting, and the people who do post consistently are getting a massively disproportionate amount of attention. You'd want to know about that, right? Obviously. And what if I told you there's another platform where every single time you hit publish, your audience actually gets it? No algorithm deciding whether to show it, no hoping. They just get it in their inbox too every time. Those two platforms are LinkedIn and Substack, and almost nobody is using them the way they should be. And I understand with Substack because it's newer, and I understand with LinkedIn because it feels like it's kind of fallen off the wayside. Anyway, I'm Tristan. This is Your Daily Real Estate. It's a podcast. It's a show. I've been running Lab Coat Agents now for 12 years, a brilliant tribe for 6 years, our coaching arm. And now I started a brand new brokerage, Y Realty, nationwide. We just opened up in Florida too. We're going all in here. And I do this, and I do lab coats, and I do everything for you for free. I want to elevate the industry regardless if you're a brand new agent, a team, a broker, independent brokerage. I don't care. I want you to show up better. And this is me helping you out every single day. Now, here's why LinkedIn and Substack matter. These are platforms that aren't being fought over as much, like on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and Facebook. Those are crowded. The barrier to attention is high. But LinkedIn and Substack, the barrier is still low. The audiences are incredibly valuable, and the window of opportunity is wide open. Let me show you how to use both of them. This way, I think you could start today. Let's start with LinkedIn. And I know when most people think LinkedIn, they think recruiters, they think job posting, they think businesses, people writing things like, "I'm humbled to announce," for the 100th time. Forget all that. That's not what LinkedIn is anymore. LinkedIn has quietly become one of the most organic reach platforms available. And most people are completely sleeping on it. How do I know? I'm watching it. Here's why the opportunity is so big right now, too. The competition is almost non-existent. Most LinkedIn users are passively watching, and that's all. They don't engage. They just scroll. They read, but they don't post. Which means if you're one of those people that's actually showing up and creating content consistently, you'll connect with the people that you want to connect with. And I mean, let me tell you, these people are the people that can spend. These people are the ones that can buy. These people are influencers through the real world, the business world, right? You're competing with millions of creators on LinkedIn. You're competing with almost nobody. Now, who's on LinkedIn? Professionals, decision makers, business owners. The demographic skews 28 to 55 with higher than average income and education. These are people who control budgets. They make hiring decisions. They're actively thinking about their careers and their businesses. And that makes a big difference. If your ideal client or partner is a professional in any capacity, they're on LinkedIn. In fact, when I interview people for my other podcast, Brilliant, that's where I interview authors and business owners, they all have LinkedIn. But guess what they don't have? They don't have the rest of them, which is interesting to watch. So how do you actually use this thing? Well, lead with a story, not sales. The posts that get the most. Oh, interesting. The posts that get the most. I'm going to remember that. Okay. The posts that get the most traction on LinkedIn are personal stories with a professional lesson attached. Easy. And I mean, it's like Seth Godin would say, right? I want you to tell a story. I want you to hook me with a story. Tell me the story about you. Tell me the story about that. Tell me the story of your company. Here's what you learned. Here's how it applies to your business or life. That format absolutely crushes it. And I hate using the word crush, but it does. It crushes it. It does amazing because it's relatable. It's human. And in a sea of all of this corporate jargon, everyone's tired of that. And you connect because it goes right through it. And here's something that might surprise you. Text posts, just words, they still dominate. Absolutely do amazing. And it's baffling to me. Unlike almost every other platform that's pushing video. Now, Facebook is the only other exception where words are absolutely dominating too. But most of the time, everyone's pushing video. LinkedIn's algorithm is heavily rewarding well-written texts. Isn't that nice? And also, when you are already writing, well, might as well use their posts for polling, because polling is doing amazing as well. Now, keep your posts scannable. Short paragraphs, line breaks, and a hook in the first line that makes people want to click or at least see more. And that click is everything, right? So when you're looking to show up, it's no different than video as far as a hook. Now, one of the most underrated growth strategies on LinkedIn is this: comment on other people's posts. Crazy idea, right? Engage. Just engage. Thoughtful comments on and not just any post. Well, I want you to engage with other people, but thoughtful comments on high visibility posts. Put your name and your face in front of thousands of people. Think about this. If you post something that connects with others because it was smart and it had to do with the post that was already doing great, people want to know, whoa, who wrote that? That's actually pretty good. It's free exposure. And it has added benefit of actually building relationships with people in your industry, or at least in people that you want to be connected with, or people that you want to do business with and build relationships with. And if you're going to write anything long form, look into LinkedIn's newsletters. Yeah, they have a whole section for it. They go directly to your subscribers' email and get prominent placement in the feed. How do I know? I have one. I have one for a Brilliant Tribe. And it's just one of the best distribution mechanisms available right now for, remember this, for well-written content. Bottom line, LinkedIn, it's the credibility and network platform. And I didn't even talk about the paid version of LinkedIn, which is a whole different thing. But yeah, there's a whole paid version and you can go and filter and target and use that, but that's for a different day and time. Now, I want you to start thinking of a different type of audience. I want you to start thinking of people that want to connect with you because of information you give, of how you show up based on what you're writing about the community, about things that are happening around here, around there. And it almost feels like how you would show up on LinkedIn newsletters, but guess what? It's still a little different. I want you to start thinking about a platform where you actually can capture people's full attention, because it serves not only as a newsletter, but it serves as a blog and it serves as its own social network. And this is Substack. It's a platform that you kind of own. And I need you to understand why that sentence matters more than almost anything else I've said today and then the previous ones for this specifically. Every other platform on this list is rented space. You're building on someone else's land, pretty much. An algorithm decides who sees your stuff, and you could have 100,000 followers and the platform might show your post to 3%. And that's it. You don't control it. Substack is different. When you publish on Substack, your writing goes directly into your subscribers' inboxes, their emails. No algorithm filtering it out. And that's pretty crazy, because think about this. I've got, 500,000 followers between everything, and people only get to see a portion of that daily, unless I go viral on one of them. Now this changes everything. It's like my email list, because I also have 500,000 on our email list. There's no hoping on this platform. There's no relying on the algorithm and hopefully it catches it. Once you hit publish here, your audience gets it every single time, too. In a world where organic reach keeps shrinking, at least I think it's shrinking, this does the opposite. And this to me is enormously valuable. In fact, it's probably the one place I would want you to focus on. So, who's on Substack? Yeah, well, these are intentional people. They didn't get served your content while scrolling mindlessly through the feed. They chose to subscribe to you. Now, the algorithm still works in a similar fashion like it does everywhere else as you're scrolling through, and it identifies a liking of what you typically gravitate to. It'll show you more authors along that line, and then you can subscribe there. Or you can do what I do. And on those other short or longer videos, I say, hey, subscribe to my Substack. And that's how they end up there. And then they'll type your email. And then it says, yes, I want to hear from this person. And that means the audience may be smaller than your social media following, but it's dramatically more engaged and loyal. These are readers, they're thinkers, people who value depth over speed. They're going to slow down to read what you got, or they'll watch the video because you can upload video too. I mean, I'm telling you, it kind of brings everything together and it's beautiful to see. How do you use it? Well, you write with depth and personality. Substack is where you go beyond just a quick thought, even though you do have that option too, but you want to go underneath it all. I want you to think, if I'm going to go on Substack, I'm going to go all in and write things that are important to me, that are important to my audience. And I can also shoot a video and attach it to it, which is really cool. So if you're shooting these long form videos on YouTube, I would also, and this is where you could do both, right? I would also throw it into Substack because now you have that video and you have that written content with it. That's pretty cool. On social media, it rewards with quick hits and hot takes. Substack is where you unpack your actual thinking. You develop it with the people reading it, and you share your frameworks. You tell longer stories, which is what I love, and it gives your audience something they just can't get from a 60-second video. Consistency here is absolutely everything. People expect you to show up however often you're going to show up. If you're going to write weekly, monthly, daily, like a couple of my friends, which is kind of nutty, then you better stick to it. And your subscribers signed up expecting a certain cadence, whether that's, like I said, monthly, weekly, daily, that's up to you. Just make sure you stick with it. And the moment you go inconsistent, guess what? You're going to lose people showing up for how they hoped you would show up for them. So pick a schedule, make it realistic, maintain it, don't overcommit, and just don't ghost your people, because like I said, that's the worst thing you can do here, especially when you're starting something new. Now, here's a strategic piece that ties it all together. Use your social platforms to drive Substack subscriptions. Every piece of content you post on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or LinkedIn, all should go to here if you don't have a newsletter. And if you have a newsletter, I would highly suggest you take a look at Substack and say, maybe Substack is going to be my newsletter, or at least test it out, because the way that Substack works is it's working for you. Because like I said, it's a combination of social media with blogs and newsletters, and it delivers all that information in the form of email to the people that have subscribed, which to me, it almost feels like Substack builds ownership of the audience, which is different than what we're used to with the rest of the social media platforms. And I think you're moving, here's how I see it. You're moving people from rented space onto a place or land that you actually own. Substack also has a notes feature, which is great. It works kind of like a simplified social media feed, and you'll see it when you go on there. Use it for quick thoughts between your main posts just to keep people engaged. But what you want to do really is focus on that long form writing. That's the opportunity to build the presence before it gets crowded. And what makes Substack different from everything else? Well, it's the ownership platform. I'm still going to tell you that is the one thing that I keep seeing. At least I keep feeling that it's different because of it. You own the list. You control the deliverability too. No algorithm stands between you and this audience that you've got. And that makes the most valuable long-term asset, at least in this virtual online world that you can build. Even if the numbers are smaller, remember, it still matters a lot because it's being delivered to people's emails as well. So let's bring this all together. LinkedIn builds your professional credibility with a high value audience that most people are completely ignoring. Substack gives you something no other platform can actually give you, and that's ownership of your audience. One builds your reputation, the other one protects your relationships with people who trust you. Most people are chasing likes on platforms they don't even control. The smart move, I think, is to also build it in places where you actually do. Show up on LinkedIn, write on Substack. Stop leaving these two on the table, because I know you are. Some of you probably never even heard of Substack either. And remember, every subscriber, every connection, every person, everyone who reads what you write, that's a real human being who chose to spend time with you. And don't take it lightly. I'll see you tomorrow.